In this video, we are going to play around with how to use the editor to draw a polygon using our BCIT fitness trail data. So first you're going to add some of the data that you're going to be using. My data is contained within a geodatabase right here. This is the geodatabase I'm going to be working with. If this is the geodatabase you're going to be constantly working with for a project, what you can do is click on this, go to default right click, make default geodatabase. That's what you want to do. So now this is the default geodatabase. Every time you add layers or you create new layers, it's going to want to go here directly. This is a helpful little tip. Okay, so first what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add sensitive grass area, which notice is polygon, but it doesn't contain anything at this point. I'm going to add my trail data, and I'm going to also add a polyline coming out of the DXF here. Okay, let me just close that. Now, notice how nothing's showing up. So first what we're going to try and do here is right click, zoom to layer. There it is. Okay, now if you recall in this exercise, or maybe what I'll explain is that we used radial shots from these stations to triangulate the corners of a parking lot. And I'm not so sure this data did an extraordinary job at collecting that. Over here you see two shots intersecting this line, so I think that's probably one corner. Here's another corner. So that one worked, but over here it's a little bit funky. So just to maybe give us some perspective, we're going to add also the WMS imagery file connection. There we go. Just to have an orthophoto in the background. Radial mosaics. Oh, this is the one I want here. Okay. So what we were trying to target in this imaginary scenario was that the corners over here, it's not too bad. The corners of this grassy patch were like an area we were trying to map without physically walking to there. So you can imagine two scenarios. Either there's molten lava through this area, and so you're confined to the trail and you have to triangulate to get those corners. Or another scenario might be that rather than molten lava, this is more realistic, is that this could be a sensitive habitat, for instance, and you can't physically walk over to this little patch that you want to map. So now it's time to use the triangulated data to draw a new patch or polygon for this sensitive grass area. What you want to do is start your editor. So my toolbar isn't turned on right now, so I'm going to select the Editor Toolbar. Perch it over here. Oh, slide it down a bit. Okay, and then you're going to go start editing. In this case, what the layer data that we're interested in selecting is the sensitive grass area that's contained within one geodatabase. Select that. Great. And what comes up already is this Create Features box. And so you pick the layer you want to work with, in this case a sensitive grass area. And what we're going to be drawing is a polygon. So under Construction Tools, you're going to select Polygon. And now you're going to select this little cursor here. And essentially what I'm going to do is connect the dots as best I can, and I'm also using the orthophoto to guide me in this case, which you don't always have access to. Oh, that's not what I want to do. This is what I want to do. So the other thing you're going to want to do is turn on your snapping tools. So snapping toolbar. So there, I suspected they're already turned on, but I thought I'd point that out. So the snapping tools, remember this is going to snap to points, and this is going to snap to ends, and vertex snapping and edge snapping. So these are going to come in handy when we sort of try and narrow in on these corners. So I'm going to select this one over here, and then why don't we use our actual radial shots. So I'm going to pick this one over here, and then that one over here. Great. So right click, finish sketch. There you go. Now you've got a polygon. So let's have a look. Are there any attributes? So we're going to add our attribute table. Now, if I just select this one, all it has is a shape and length. If you right click and you open the attribute table, you'll see just shape and length at this time. So there's just shape and length here, but we're going to close this and that's adequate at this point. So now you could play around with the color scheme. Maybe we're going to go with something like this to identify this sensitive grass area, which we all know isn't very sensitive in reality.